Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Hello. So I think we've come a long way since 2013, the time when I started getting involved in the industry. So I think between 2013 to before 2017, the industry is more of what we call the Bitcoin industry. We don't really call it the blockchain or Web3. We don't use those words back then. I think in 2017, Ethereum kind of became popular, became the ERC20 tokens ICO industry. And 2021 kind of was the DeFi summer now. And then now we're seeing like traditional finance, institutional adoption, Bitcoin ETFs, etc. And Bitcoin is becoming really the global reserve cryptocurrency. But in the future, I do believe that Bitcoin will become the global reserve currency. So so I think we've seen this evolution, and it's great to see that now both traditional financial industries and nations and countries adopting Bitcoin, plus other cryptocurrency. So I think we've come really a long way. Sure. So I think Bitcoin has some limitations as well. So it's grown a lot, but because of the block size and the decentralization aspect of it, so Ethereum became the compute blockchain. Other blockchains have become the meme blockchain. Other blockchains are the liquidity providing blockchain, etc. So there are different blockchains for different purposes right now, and there's a lot of other innovations that are happening. We've tried to bring a lot of innovations back onto Bitcoin. Some were successful, some were not. But Bitcoin still is by far the largest market cap coin. And is the standard sort of the gold kind of in this industry. So so I think right now we're kind of in a stage where there's a lot of innovation, and I personally hope to see many of those innovations being brought back to Bitcoin. I think it's mainly it's capacity, right? So right now Bitcoin is still 7 transactions per second. There are different solutions to get around that, layer 2s, etc. But layer 2s itself, you have to rely on you have to trust a third party. So which kind of increases centralization. If we're going to do that, we might as well have a bit more centralized, a bit more infrastructure on Bitcoin network itself. So, but I think really the capacity is the limit. So we need to find ways to continue to increase capacity. This is one of the limitations for decentralization. Upgrade is like very slow, and upgrade is also very painful. In 2017, there was a block size war leading to many different Bitcoin forks. I hate Bitcoin forks, just simply because operationally for industry service providers to be able to provide that service, you have to deal with so many different forks, so many different wallets. It's just a lot of work. So at the same time, while I want to see Bitcoin continue to evolve really quickly, I'm hoping to evolve to avoid too many forks. There are a small portion of like crypto diehards that says, well, okay, we don't want nation states and all the centralized players coming to crypto. But we got to understand that in a decentralized world, anyone can participate. It can be a single person, a group, a nation, a company. Anybody should be able to participate. And the more they participate, the better. So why wouldn't we want them to be in this industry? They bring more capital, more money, more validation, more credibility, more use cases. And so in my view, the more the merrier. And they also once countries start to think about national crypto reserves, they will also have to think about regulations. So they will make the rules more clear. Even though in the decentralized world, you can say, look, everything's software, you don't need a lot of extra rules. But having some guardrails will make industry players' job a lot easier on what they can and cannot do. So I think all of this is extremely good. And we've seen the price action reflect that. Bitcoin is near all-time high. So Bitcoin, like 9 months ago, was what, 50, 60,000? Now even though it's dropped a little bit today, or like in the last week or so, but it's still within like 5-10% of the all-time high. We've seen other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, BNB near all-time highs as well. So this clearly the price action also shows that this institutional adoption is good. So I think it was actually quite surprising to me that US was able to adopt so many things so quickly. So I think kudos to the Trump administration. They moved really, really quickly, and I think they also So I think the industry, they also have good support from the industry. So I think Bitcoin Magazine, you guys have been helping a lot there. And then many other crypto players also help. So I think before, like say even 9 months ago, many other countries were leading, including like UAE especially. Like they're very forward thinking. But now I think U.S. is really setting the pace for like openness, forward-leaning regulations, and even yesterday, right? So this morning, CFTC announced now they may be looking at allowing U.S. citizens to trade on international platforms.
Huge.
That's huge, right? So I think, like based on my limited conversations with different people just this morning, it seems that rule is an old rule. They're just bringing back more into the foreground. So all of these things are extremely positive, and U.S. is so impactful, so influential in the global market, on the globe. So now every other government has to think about, well, we can't be left too far behind. So I know for a fact that UAE is trying to push even more forward, so to be more crypto friendly, to be more innovative. We've seen Hong Kong being really opening up as well. The rest of I was in Tokyo 3 days ago. They are trying to embrace crypto in a strong way. So I think now U.S. is basically leading every regulator, every country leader in the world to think about crypto. I got into a lot of trouble with the U.S. government by having U.S. users on our platform in the early days and not having a proper registration, etc. So that was the issue that I went through. Now seeing that now U.S. is allowing that, that's really good. I mean, that's I personally think that I would like the whole world to be a free economy, meaning that anybody should be able to transact with anybody else. Anybody should be able to invest and fundraise from anywhere in the world, ideally. There will be some limitations, and there are some laws, with sanctioned countries, limits, and etc. But the less of those things are there, the more the world economy is better. I think basically, so I'm more of the sort of global economy kind of advocate because I'm a business guy. I'm not a politician. I'm not I don't draw turfs. So I think we should, as much as possible, have an open economy. And I think right now, and blockchain is a technology that can easily enable that. We just need the regulations to allow that. And we also need to, I strongly believe that we need to evolve the old regulations to catch up to a much more globalized world. I know every country needs to protect their economies. They want to grow their own economies. No, we have borders. We have country borders for that. And there are rules that can be put in place. But the more every citizen on the planet can transact with each other, the more resources we'll have and the better economy we'll have. And the better economy we'll have, we can do much better things. We can go to Mars, we can go to beyond Mars, we can cure cancer, we can do a lot of stuff. Yeah. So digital asset treasury companies. I think it's great. Again, I think it's number one, fantastic for crypto, or it's fantastic for Bitcoin. And what's good for Bitcoin is good for crypto. And in addition to Bitcoin, we're seeing many other cryptocurrencies doing the same thing, copying like the MicroStrategy, right? So DAT companies for BNB, for Ethereum, for other cryptocurrencies, etc. So the traditional equity markets are so much bigger than crypto, right? So, and also, especially in the US, I believe 95% of the money is in institution money. They're all managed by institutions. In other countries, the percentage is less. But so basically, in the world's largest economy, most of this money is in institutions. So far, those guys have not been able to participate in crypto in a large way until the ETFs. But now, the public treasury companies offer more choices and more variety. The ETFs are more like an index and basket, etc. And the fees, then you also have to pay a fee. The DAT companies now offer many people who couldn't buy crypto before, but now they can get exposure to crypto by buying public company shares. So we're now basically bringing the equity markets to have access to crypto, or bring crypto to them, depending how you look at it. At the same time, we're trying to we're kind of bring crypto into the equity markets, which is a huge market. And this is not happening only in US now. This is happening in Hong Kong, in Japan, in every place that have an equity, in every country that has an equity market, we can do this now. So this opens a small asset class into a much bigger audience, which is fantastic. The other direction is also happening, the tokenization of assets, so the RWAs. So now we bring stable coins, treasury bills, and commodities, and buildings, real estate, anything you can imagine, even people, you can tokenize everything. So we're now bring the assets we're into crypto. So we're going both ways, which is fantastic. These concepts are not new, but now they're being really executed in a real way. And we're seeing DAT markets are really hot. So they're raising hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that we're just bringing that into crypto, and there's more and more of that happening. So I think this overall is fantastic. There are some risks. Some people will want to use the DAT company and say, look, it's a public company, but they're just going to do a big crypto treasury, Bitcoin treasury to pump up their stock price. Well, that's obviously not too good. And many of them don't have good management around how to handle cryptocurrencies. And some of them have more complex structures where they hold a basket of cryptocurrencies. Now, who's going to maintain the basket? Who's going to maintain the balance of it? Some of them even do additional stuff like investing the funds raised in crypto companies, etc. Now, that's a different type of business. Nothing against them, but you got to evaluate each different one as they are. Those different businesses require different skills. We will also see some failures in this space, so in this sector. So be mindful that not every DAT is going to go multiple X, etc. Lastly, right now we're in bull market. The market does go in cycles. Eventually, there will be a winter, there will be a bear market, and at those times, the stock price may drop. The price will have volatility. So most DAT companies will at least have to go through one winter to be able to cost average in the future, so that they always have a lower average cost. MicroStrategy went through that. It was quite painful for their first cycle, but now they're good because now their average price is low. So in a few years, sooner or later there will be a market winter. We'll go through cycles. So just be mindful of that and understand the risks. Number one is more money coming into an asset generally increases stability, decreases volatility. Basically, the larger the market cap, the larger the market capitalization, the total asset value of the class, the more stable it is. Basically, look, if you have a $100 million asset or token or a public company, if somebody wants to buy $10 million worth of shares, the price is going to pump, right? Whereas if you buy $10 million of NVIDIA, which is a $3-4 trillion thing now, it's not going to move, right? So the larger the asset, so basically the larger the market cap, the less volatility you will have. That's just physics, really. It's like a larger ship, right? Larger ships are more stable. So more money coming in will help stabilize for sure. But at the same time, the money coming in is coming from equity markets, which are also there's a lot of speculative traders there. So it's a very liquid market, which is good for getting in and out. But at the same time, it's a trading market. So people can price may fluctuate even more in the short term. But long term, I think definitely it's good. Yeah. So I think for some of the smaller assets, it is much higher risk. Well, I think fundamentally, you need to look at whatever that token represents or what the basket of tokens represent, are the underlying ecosystems really developing? So are the utility value of the underlying token, is it really increasing? If it's of course, the newer something is, the more risk there are. So the more mature the ecosystem is, and the larger it is, the less risk. But also the speed of improvement may also be slower, depending how you look at it. So some of the newer ones may have higher risk, higher returns, but the older ones, the more established ones, will probably be safer bets. It's a different mix. So I think RWA are very interesting. So bringing us assets on chain, we're seeing that happening. It's not done in a very. It's still early, so it's not. There's some issues. There are many issues we're seeing. But it's good that it's happening so that we can fix we can address those issues. I also think AI will help crypto a lot. I think most people don't realize how much transactions AI is going to generate, and AI is going to generate those transactions in a programmable way. They have to have a programmable money, and the fiat money that we have today either is US dollars, Hong Kong dollars, Chinese RMB, those are not programmable dollars. Those are not programmable money. So AI is going to use cryptocurrencies, and AI is going to create so much transactions that people don't realize yet. So I think that's going to be really good for us as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Cz, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for having me here. Yeah.